y'all know that we are recording, and this document will be shared with your colleagues, your peers in the College of Education. And so just FYI, so that you're all aware, we are recording. And my name is Gina Tillis, Dr. Gina Tillis. I am a clinical instructor and undergraduate academic learning specialist for River City Partnership. I see a few River City scholars in the house. Thank y'all for joining us. And I also see some of our amazing College of Education students. And so just in case you are not, you don't know who I am, my name is Gina Tillis. I welcome you to come meet with me and just like talk about whatever. You don't have to be a River City scholar, and because I work for the college and I work for all teachers in the field of education. If you want to have a transformative impact on your students and in community, feel free to reach out to me. This is my contact information. I prefer contact by email, so you can look me up in the university catalog, as well as just go ahead and type down or screenshot my contact information here. So I want to begin with some introductions. So I've done like quite a few workshops over the last, last semester and so, and I realized that, effective workshops really require participation from everyone. So I want to start with myself. And I think, since I developed these questions, I was like, oh, maybe I could find something a little bit more lighter, like a Thanksgiving question. Like, what are you going to cook for Thanksgiving, or who you're most excited to see? So I want you to choose one of these questions to answer. And then the fun question is, what are you cooking for Thanksgiving? Or who are you most excited to see? So I'm not preparing for the exam, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I am most excited to cook sweet potato pies, and I'm also most excited to see my nephew. My sister-in-law just had a baby yesterday, and we're going to her house, and I can't wait to see my nephew. So from here, we're just gonna popcorn around. So I will call on somebody, and then you answer one of these questions and then one of the fun questions. So Jamaica, since you said, what up, Dr. Tillis? I'm calling on you first. Pick one of these questions and one of the fun questions.
Hi. Okay, so I'll pick, what resources are you using? And currently I'm using 240 Tutoring, and I'm also using some Facebook notes from a group. And Facebook is a Praxis group. And I'm actually cooking some green bean casserole this year. It's a very small recipe, so yeah.
I love that dish. That's one of my favorite dishes. So Jamaica, you get to pick, you get to choose anyone else to go next.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I shall choose. I really don't know anybody, so I'm just gonna pick a random person, which is Nicole.
Thank you, Jamaica. Nicole.
Hello. I am sorry, I'm in my car because I just got off work. So the resources, I would say I've been using Khan Academy to study for the Praxis. And then a favorite dish of mine, well, I'm going to be cooking my loaded mashed potatoes because my sister loves them. And I can't wait to see my grandchildren because I have two little ones. So
that's awesome, Nicole. I appreciate your dedication. First off, joining in right after work. I know you got a lot of stuff planned in your mind right now. You're probably thinking about, oh, I got to make sure I unthaw the turkey and all this good stuff. And I'm looking forward to those loaded mashed potatoes. I know you got some bacon up in there, maybe some cheese, some sour cream. So thank you. Thank you for joining us, Nicole. Nicole, you get to choose someone who goes next.
Okay, let's see. I will choose Shayna.
You said Shayla?
Is it Shayna?
Shayna, are you with us, Shayna?
It's probably Shania, Shania. Is that me?
Shania, yes, like
Yes.
Shania Twain.
Yes,
That's
exactly
it.
like that. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm at work. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, it is 6:58. Okay, I am most excited to see my family, my cousins, and I'm planning on taking the Praxis December 13th.
Awesome. I know you're at work, so I'm going to pick somebody for you. Okay, Shania?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, let me see. I'm going to pick Deja McAlpin.
I knew it was coming.
Mhm.
So
I'm
I'm gonna
my pets at school.
who are you preparing with? I just actually bought a book from Amazon. I don't know what it's called. I know it's by Kathleen Jasper.
Awesome.
And I guess where I can say I'm most excited to see all my family this weekend because I'm just getting home.
That's good. I know just being back home is so nice. So that's good. I'm glad you referenced Kathleen Jasper. Who do you want to go next?
I choose Stephanie.
Okay, Bethany, you ready?
Yes, I'm actually in my car right now, but it's funny that you call on me right after her because I also have that purple book by Kathleen Jasper that I've been using to study.
That's good.
It is. It's got those practice tests at the end for each subject. There's 2 of each, and so that's really helpful. It's a really nice resource. I got it off Amazon. But I am actually cooking peanut butter cookies, or I'm baking peanut butter cookies with the Hershey Kisses in the middle for Thanksgiving. Those are my favorite.
You have to my heart with the peanut butter cookies. That's my favorite too. Peanut butter and oatmeal. Everybody likes chocolate. I'm down for the peanut butter first.
Yes, love peanut butter.
Do you want me to pick someone for you since you're driving?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sure thing. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna call on. Looks like Marissa.
Hi everyone.
Hi,
So
Marissa.
I don't have a date yet because I did want to go ahead and take my special ed exams first. And but I am studying with the 240 tutoring that the school offers for us, so which is really helpful. And I am most excited about cooking the turkey. This will be my first time by myself. So pray for me.
Yes.
I did warn everyone. I said, hey, it's a Pinterest recipe. So just be grateful.
You brave soul. You brave soul. I haven't ventured down that yet. Have not ventured down. I'm usually the side dish girl.
Me too.
Well, thank you for sharing, Marissa. Can you call on someone or do you want me to call someone for you?
I can. Let me look at the list real quick. Has Tyler?
I don't think Tyler has.
I have not.
No. Okay.
Okay, so we'll turn mine on. So two other people have also said this. I am using the Purple Praxis book it's the Nava Ed book that people are talking about. But I'm using that as my resource. And then for food for Thanksgiving, I'm looking forward to ham the most. I like ham way more than I do turkey. So
do you get that honey baked ham?
I'm not even sure what it is. All I know is like kind of crispy on the edges, and then it's very like this juicy ham. That and macaroni are like my absolute favorite Thanksgiving
that
foods.
Sounds delicious.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Tyler. So Tyler, can you pick someone or do you want me to?
You can do it. I don't know who all hasn't gone anymore.
Okay, so I think we have Talitha. Talitha, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Talitha.
Hi. So I really haven't picked a date yet to take the Praxis, but I am thinking maybe here at the end of the year, like December, like I want to get like one exam in. So I am kind of leaning towards social studies. So I'm glad to be here for this meeting. And so what I'm preparing with is the 240 tutoring that U of M provides. So I signed up for that, and so I plan on studying with that intensively because I used Khan Academy in the past, and Khan Academy was like really great. So I'm thinking 240 tutoring is gonna be pretty much the same.
Thank you. Thank you. What you cooking? What you cooking?
I'm not cooking. We actually out of town right now. So like my grandma, like they all gonna be cooking. So I'm just gonna eat whatever they fix.
Okay, because you know grandma know how to cook.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, I think we have, I'm not sure if Bethany, have you went yet, Bethany?
I did.
Okay. I believe we just Miss Perkins, Miss Ayana Perkins.
I'm gonna move this back over here. I'm Ayana Perkins. I'm the Clinical Placement and Induction Coordinator in the Office of Teacher Education and Clinical Practice. And Dr. Gina Tillis is my partner in this work to put on these Praxis events and workshops and boot camps. So I'm very thankful for her doing this session. I'm not preparing for exam right now, but some of the resources that I love Kathleen Jasper. Anybody who has met with me knows that. I love 240 tutoring and Khan Academy. So you have some great resources there. And we also have some resources at the library that you have available to you for free as a student at the University of Memphis. So I am cooking dressing and I'm using my grandma's recipe.
Yes.
I'm really excited about trying it again this year.
I love, that's my favorite, the dressing. The dressing and the greens and the sweet potatoes. Oh my goodness, y'all just making me hungry and also like a little anxiety because I'm like, I still got so much to cook. So, but my husband is cooking a fried turkey, and so that's gonna top it off because I'm too scared to do anything like that right now. But thank y'all all for taking the time to introduce yourselves. I'm gonna go ahead and go to our next slide. Let me see if I can go this way. So we're here today to really focus in on the social studies subtest. And this test is designed to assess whether an examinee like yourself has the broad knowledge and competencies to be licensed as a beginning teacher. And I'll be drawing primarily from the ETS Praxis Prepare materials. And so I'm gonna go ahead and click on this link. And let me see if I could, I'm gonna change my sharing, new share. Okay. So what I did to just begin sharing, like thinking through how to best prepare for this exam is I went to the ETS preparation materials website, and you can just scroll down and find the exam for you. I already right now have all the stuff that we need up, but if you just scroll down, you'll see the 5001, and then ETS has a study companion, which looks like this. And in addition to the study companion, it also has a number of resources, which I like for the Praxis content exams, which is, let me see, let's say social studies. I have to open it up once. It doesn't really automatically open it up. But one of the good things about the ETS website is that it now has links to Khan Academy videos for the social studies exam. Unlike the Praxis Core, which the Praxis Core doesn't have any videos, the Praxis subtest 5004 has everything on the exam plus hyperlinks to Khan Academy. So I'll just click on one of these hyperlinks and see, so you can see quickly on how to access information for those particular subunits. So if you're not familiar with Khan Academy, it includes a little curriculum. It also includes videos, and it has practice tests. And so fortunately, ETS has already embedded this information on their website. And all you need to do is click on study resources. And I also encourage you to download the study plan. For this particular workshop today, we'll be drawing from not only the ETS website, multiple subjects website, but also Khan Academy and 240 tutoring. I'm not going to spend too much time on what we offer in the College of Education, but if you type up University of Memphis, I'm not typing it right, University of Memphis, let's see, TEP, y'all making me nervous, that's why I can't type, Praxis. You'll see that we have a number of resources. We have a video library. We also have links to our LibGuide, which the College of Education partnered with the University Library to create a one-stop shop for all of the resources that you'll need as you prepare for your exam. So you just click on Praxis Test, Praxis Information, and then if you scroll down, you can click on the LibGuide. And I think actually just, based off of your suggestions, we're going to reach back out to them and see if they could purchase some products from Kathleen Jasper so that you guys can have them at the library and you won't have to worry about purchasing them yourselves. And here's some of the books that we currently have for you all. So you can just go to the University Library LibGuides or just go the way that I just went and get more information from that particular path. So let me go back. I'm gonna scroll back and go to my PowerPoint. So on the exam, you will have 60 questions, okay? Of these 60 questions, 27 will cover United States history, government, and citizenship. 18 questions will cover geography, anthropology, and sociology, more of the social studies. And then 15 questions will cover world history and economics. Today, we are going to cover a few of these questions from each realm. Quick question. How many questions are on this exam? How many questions are on this exam? You can just say it out loud or you can put it in the chat. Let me make sure I'm monitoring the chat. How many questions? Yes, we have 60 questions. 60 questions is right. How long do we have per question? How long do we have per question? No, that was very close though. We have 30 seconds. We have, actually the answer is 1 minute. Good job, Tyler. 30 seconds. Maybe if you keep in your mind, you got to get it done by 30 seconds. You'll fit that 1 minute marker if you're like myself. But yes, you have 1 minute per question. So as we're going through some of the example questions, I'm going to be timing you and you will have 1 minute to answer each of the questions. What are the broad overarching areas? If you can just type in or say it, what are some of the things that you're going to be tested on? I can give you some examples. Some starts with the, yes, governments, yes. Some start with an S. So, U.S. history, that's right. Sociology, anthropology, economics, world history, right? Civics. So these are some of the broad overarching areas. Do each of them count the same? Are all these areas equal? Yes, but less are more questions. So yes, some of these areas, unfortunately, you're not going to be tested as much. As much as I love sociology, I used to teach sociology, I used to teach history, I used to teach anthropology. These questions are not going to be, sociology questions are not, you're not going to be examined on those as much as you will be for U.S. history. So I'm going to scroll down so you can see exactly how much you have for each of these questions. So most of the time you're taking the exam, most of the questions are going to be coming from U.S. history, government, and citizenship. So that's an area you probably want to focus on. And then you won't have as many questions on world history. Sometimes my scholars, my students will get like, oh my goodness, I need to know the whole world history. There's only 15 questions on that, and it's almost divided equally with economics. So don't stress on world history so much as you would with US history. Next slide. All right, the test is going to be interactive computer format. This means that you will have a selective response from which you click A, B, or C, right? Predominantly, sometimes they'll have the exam where you might have to click on a certain passage, but for this test, it's predominantly multiple choice. And not just multiple choice, it's like all that apply. And if you're not familiar with the test, make sure you read the directions carefully. If you're not familiar with the question, the type of question, the directions always give clear instructions on how to proceed. Now, before we start going into some of the questions, I want to give you a few quick tips. Number one important thing, I think in the process of preparing with Ayana a few times for our practice prep workshops, I get so caught up in like timing and stuff like that I don't read the questions and answers as thoroughly as I should be. So number one thing, make sure you're reading your questions and your answers very thoroughly. Sometimes it doesn't ask you for the correct answer. It asks you for multiple, which ones apply. And so you'll have to answer multiple options that are provided. I also suggest that you verify your answers through substitution, and you limit your answers to the choices that are given and go through the process of elimination. Move this out the way. So we're going to go ahead and start with United States history, government, and citizenship. All right. These are just some common questions that you will possibly see. I pulled them from our 240 tutoring as well as the ETS Khan Academy questions. So with that said, I want you to think, okay? So ETS provides a resource guide on how to prepare for the exam. In the resource guide, they share that, what they advise as a good approach, beginning with what areas are you strong in? How well do you know the content? So if you download that form and you make note of all the areas you feel comfortable with, right? You put on a little scale, 1 to 5. You also make note of what content you have to prepare for those areas or where you can find resources, the days that you plan to study, and the days that you plan to complete it. Then you'll start developing that plan of action that will effectively support you as you prepare for your exam. So there's looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this particular section, there's United States history. There's 8 subsections. Okay, and just by kind of looking at this, what area do you feel you are strongest in? Go ahead and type that in the chat. What areas do you feel you are stronger in? And I'm gonna go ahead and monitor the chat. H and C. H is knows rights and responsibilities of citizenship and democracy. Thank you, Tyler. Oh. We also have G and B. G is knows key documents and speeches related to history of the United States. B, we got another, we got B and C here. which is knows about American Revolution and the founding of the nation, and also knows major events and developments in the United States. So I just want to stop here and just say how much, first off, I appreciate you sharing which areas your strong suits are. Notice that between Jamaica and Tyler, they together almost know everything in this particular path. So we have half of the content with strong, suitors. Both Jamaica and Tyler feel comfortable with half of the things that you guys are going to be tested on. My suggestion is find somebody to partner with that is strong in areas that you may be weak in. Thank y'all. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next questions. The next slide, which is resources. As I shared earlier, ETS has done a wonderful job in connecting all of the Praxis content to Khan Academy videos. So you can go back to that form I drew up, I shared with you earlier. And if you're not strong in an area, so I don't think we had anyone who said that they were strong in A, knows European exploration and colonization in the United States history and growth and expansion of the United States. I would suggest you do is take a little time to click on these links and go through the Khan Academy prep curriculum units. And those are inclusive of, like I said, instructional material, videos, as well as practice questions. All right, so we can go ahead and start. I need all of you guys to go ahead and take out a pen so you can make notes. I'm going to give you 4 example questions that you might see from this particular subsection of the exam. And I'm going to give you 1 minute each to answer each question. And at the end, I want you to share with me how you came up with these answers. So let me get my timer out. All right, I'm ready. I hope you all are ready. And we're gonna go ahead and go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Oops, no. I'll go to this next slide. All right, go ahead and start. Okay, next question. All right, next question. And last question right here. All righty, thank you all. We're gonna go ahead and I want you guys to go ahead and share. I need one brave soul, just one brave soul to go ahead and share their answers. We want to go through, I want to walk you through how
I'll
we
do
got
it.
these answers. So go ahead.
Okay, so on number 1, I got D for the first one.
Okay, let's see.
Do I need to say like all of them at once or just like single-handedly?
Yeah, I think no, let's go through one at a time. Okay, so you said you got D.
Okay, so D.
Yeah, so
D.
why did you choose D?
I kind of use prior knowledge, just knowing that like I remember hearing people talking about going on mission trips to different countries, and I know that's to spread like a religion. So I kind of used that one to answer the one about spreading Spanish culture and religion.
I love that connection. That's the same type of connection I had. I had friends who went on mission trips, and I knew it had something to do with religion. And and then also, I am from California. So, being from California and actually seeing some of the missions and knowing that there were churches helped me connect the two. So, yes, that is the right answer. I also knew that it was like it didn't have very much to do with like agriculture, you know. So I did process of elimination from those two. So let's go to the next one, Tyler.
On number 2, I got C for this one.
Okay. Colombian Exchange best refers to. So this was a harder one, huh?
I was thinking when I thought of the exchange, I used exchange again, and I was thinking it was the whole like trade routes that established. See, I guess I thought Europe and Asia in this was connected to the United States.
Now, I was thinking about that too, but then I was thinking like trade routes established between Europe and Asia that inspired Columbus. I kind of felt like, because it was called Colombian Exchange, right? If it is inspiring Columbus, then that means already in process. So therefore, there's like it's the order of events. The first there wasn't the Colombian Exchange, and then Christopher Columbus decided his expedition. So that one came like a process of elimination for me. Do you get where I'm going with that?
Right. Yeah. I think I just like. Yeah, I honestly think on this one, I just didn't read the entirety of C. That read the. I guess I didn't like fully comprehend the part that says that inspired.
Yeah, see how like just tiny little things like that will throw us off because we're like, we know it's a trade route, right? Because we know it has something to do with trade, right? In exchange. So that was a close one for me too. And then the Crusades happened so long ago. And I think I don't think Crusades is the time period Columbus was.
Right. I took out B and D for that reason right there because I figured the Colombian Exchange would refer to Christopher Columbus. So I was like, B and D would probably be out. It just come down to A and C.
Yes. So you have the same last options that I had, but then I just read it again real closely and I saw that inspired Columbus, and I was like, it's got to be A. So. All right, and then the next question.
Number 3, I got B on this. I could have like I think recently I've watched like documentaries on this, and I honestly don't remember how I got this one. I think I just briefly remembered hearing about it, and I just thought like because I did not believe something about the Titanic just didn't really make sense to me, and I don't even know what the name of that line is.
Which one?
On number 1, the formation of the
not
line.
Yeah.
Never even heard of that, anyways. And the one about the Titanic, that just seems like just way out of order for me. But I could have swore I've seen videos about World War I and just hearing about that before.
I agree with you. I had a difficult time with this question. It was really for me a process of elimination. I knew it wasn't the Titanic because I know that wasn't purposely, sunk, because I've seen the movie, The Titanic.
Right.
So I just kind of did the same thing you did. Also, kind of United States declared war on Germany. I knew it had something to do with, World War I and this trying to get involved so that they wouldn't be near the United States. So therefore, I connected it to World War I. And it really, to me, this was like just process of elimination. I was also thinking about, the formation of the Maginot, but I was like, that I've never even heard of that. And so
that's why I was like, that's why I just threw that one out, because I've never heard of that before. So I was just like, let's just not put that in.
Yeah. And then I think we have one more question.
And the last one, I put D on this one. Because the way they read it, they made it sound like it was about the government. If it ever got too powerful, they needed to. It was basically like if the government. I'm trying to find a way to word this. Like the writing of it sounded like it made sure that the government would not get too powerful to like make it not be able to be overthrown.
Yeah. And if you look at the options here, it looks like they're all government options, right? We vote in our electoral college, we vote for our senators. And although we don't vote for the Supreme Court, it's still a part of the government. And so, and then I also hear people always say, I know my Bill of Rights, And so that's how I knew it had to be the last one, because when I think of Bill of Rights, I think of, our personal liberties.
Right. Like I saw like, the word rights in it itself, like it's, I just kind of connected the two there.
That's
also, and I was just kind of thinking of other things that really would not work with that. Like, one I just automatically threw out kind of was A, because I feel like the Electoral College had nothing to, I don't even know if they had that, like, whenever this was made, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even remember, but it still has to do with the government. That's how I was like, well, let's just get rid of that one. And I still don't understand why we have the Electoral College, but that's a whole different question. So thank you so much. Is Tyler?
Yes.
Thank you, Tyler.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
I'm gonna just note that another resource, if you're like, I don't know what the Zimmerman Telegram is all about, and you guys are talking about it in this question, Khan Academy has done a wonderful job. And I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and open that up real quick, with providing instructional materials for that. So I had collected this question from Khan Academy using the links that ETS shared. And if you're like, hey, this question about the Zimmerman Telegram was really challenging, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and check out these videos. It goes through World War I. World War I is not my strong suit. That's not something that I'm like, hey, I really know World War I. And so if I were you and I was preparing, this is something I would be spending a lot of time going through. All right. Do you guys all see my the URL that I just pulled up, or just my PowerPoint?
We can see the URL.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move to the next subsection, because we have just a few more minutes and I want to make sure I get through all of them. I can get this out the way. All right. Okay, so the next subsection is geography, anthropology, and sociology. And we don't have as many questions because this particular subsection is not as big. So we're gonna, I wanna make note that these are the areas of this particular subsection. Do you understand spatial terms, places, and regions? Do you understand the interaction of the physical and the human systems? Do you know geography and how how to interpret the past and the present to plan for the future? And the last thing is, do you know people of different cultural backgrounds and their interactions with the environment, their family, their neighborhoods, and their communities? And so, unfortunately, ETS does not have as many resources for this particular sub module. I strongly encourage you to just kind of go through your networks, whether it's Khan Academy, if you can find it on Khan Academy. 240 Tutoring has a lot of information on this. And I'm sure, as some of our peers said, you can definitely use Kathleen Jasper in your social network I guess, community. So let's go ahead and go. I'm going to start the test. You have 3 questions. And for each question on this, I'm going to give you 45 seconds. All right, let's begin. Next question. And our last question right here. I'm gonna give you a little more time for this one. Okay. All right, I need one brave soul to go ahead and share their answers with me and why they chose those answers. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I mean, honestly, I can keep going if I need to.
You know, the more you share, the more exercise it is for yourself. And so
this one was a little harder for me though. So.
Oh, hold on though, Tyler. I think we heard somebody say that they. Okay. Did I hear somebody for a second?
I said I can try.
Yes,
this one was kind of tough.
It was a little tougher, but we're going to walk through this together, and we're here. We're all trying to learn. So thank you for your courage. All right, we'll go ahead and go to the first question. All right, so what did you choose and why?
For the first question, I chose A. Just because, I mean, this one was kind of like a process of elimination for me because all we're being asked is to find the cause and effect. So the fall of Berlin Wall helped hasten the fall of communism in Russia. So the fall of Berlin was the cause, and the fact that they helped hasten the fall of communism in Russia was the effect. So that's why I chose that. But the other three just did not seem to have so much of a cause. They had more so of an effect. So yeah.
Jamaica, that's the same approach that I used for this one. I was like, these don't even seem like cause and effect. So I know there's a cause and effect to me with like the scientists discovered global temperatures, right? Have risen, but there's no like effect. It's not showing. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So I did the same thing you did. All right, let's go to the next question.
The next question, I was struggling between B or A. I probably did not get either of those right.
No, those are very close. So you said D or A?
B or A.
Okay, B or A. So B is the study of biological forces shaping society. Oh, this is good. This is good. I see that's close, right? Especially when you think about shaping society. But what are they referring to, biological forces? And have you had a sociology or psychology or a political science course before?
In undergrad, I did. However, that's why I was struggling because I did not remember.
That's okay.
I knew it was a study of, but then when it said, I think the political science is what kind of threw me off. Because obviously political science is kind of like politics, but I don't know where I got biological forces from. So that's why I chose A as the second choice. So I probably would have went back and put A if I were doing this on a test.
Yeah, I think that the B where it says shaping society, that kind of it throws you off for a second, right? But then you come back to biology, biological forces, and I was thinking, well, I've never really studied biological forces in my political science class or my sociology or psychology classes so much. When I think of these courses, I'm thinking about people and, how they behave and, whether that be some of the political decisions they're making or some of the cultural norms that they're creating. And so that's how I got that particular answer.
Okay. And for the last one, I chose C.
And you were right again. And this one was a little bit harder. How did you get C?
Yeah, so I was doing a lot of scanning on this one, especially with that paragraph. Yeah. Honestly, and I'm gonna just be real straightforward with you. This was another one that I was just like process of elimination. And then I also, because I ran out of time, I just guessed. The first two didn't sound right to me. So I was actually between the last one and C. So because I ran out of time, I just chose C.
And that's perfectly fine. And that's what I would like you to do, right? We always want to encourage process of elimination and be mindful of our pace and how long we're spending on certain questions. If you don't feel comfortable with the two options you have and you just want to, table it and come back, or just pick one and then come back, you can. This last option, D, which is migrating long distances away from complex society leads to better technology. That one's, we're not really sure yet, right? And so I think I would have went with you in terms of people where people can migrate is determined by their availability of technology. And, if you're migrating somewhere it's cold, you want to make sure that you have the technology to keep you warm. So thank you, Jamaica. That was super helpful. We're going to move on to the last module, which is the shortest module. And we just have a few questions. So y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's go. So this one is world history and economics. And it will primarily cover classical civilizations, note Egypt, Greece, and Rome. That's pretty much most of the questions. The 20th century developments, so the role of cross-cultural comparisons, and then also a lot of questions on economic supply and demand, scarcity and choice, and then also resources and the impact of economics on the government. So let's go ahead and move forward. Note that ETS offers a ton of resources for this particular module. So the middle module, not so many. The first and the last module have a ton of resources. So if you're not very strong, like I'm not very strong when it comes to knowing like Mesopotamia and the fall of Rome, and so I would just go ahead and take advantage of all those links and go through those modules. Are y'all ready? I'm ready. We got 3 questions. I'm going to give you guys 45 seconds per question. Let's get to it. Hold on, let me get my timer. Okay, let's go. Okay, next question. Last question right here. All right, so let's go ahead and here I need my brave soul. Note that when you share, sharing is caring, right? It's also an opportunity for you to exercise your decision-making process and think through it deeply. So do I have a volunteer?
I can do this one.
Thank you, Deja. Okay.
Okay, so can we go to the first question? Because I don't write them down. Okay, so I got it right. Great. Okay, so I did get B. Because I remember, this might be kind of childish, but like you remember the like little children's like Bible story kind of thing? I just remember something about pyramids and pharaohs and how the pyramids and pharaohs connected. That's just my thought process. I was like, okay, so tombs for the dead pharaohs. But I also remember learning this in history way back when, many, 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 many years ago.
Yeah, that's a good connection. And like even connecting it to the Bible, I just like throughout like my studies, I never really learned that like, you know, these amazing pyramids were for, you know, food, right? That's just like let's knock that one off, you know? And we know that they had treasures in there, but they're really the treasures of the pharaohs who had passed. So it's not just treasures, you know, it's specific treasures connected to certain pharaohs that had passed. And I also never really heard about worship, you know, like being in a good space. So that's a great connection, connecting it to the Bible. That's good. All right, let's go to the next one.
Right. So the next question. Oh, so it was I was supposed to select two. Okay, I only chose one because I don't got my glasses on, so I kind of just like, okay, so this is just gonna make sense in my head. But
Yeah.
I only chose D, because I do remember learning. I don't know how I remember learning this, but I do remember learning that when the Nile came about, it was it flooded annually. I do remember that. I never remembered a religious system at all that worked with social rules in Egypt, and I did never remember military preparation. But I don't know why I didn't choose A. Maybe because I wasn't thinking to choose A too, or maybe because I just didn't read. But I only chose D for that one. But yeah.
Thank you, Deja. I think I went through the same thing. So you see, I put A, right? I didn't even put D because I was just like, I'm just going to hurry up and get this answer right and move on. And I failed. I failed to select all the answers that apply. And so this is lesson learned. Make sure you read each question thoroughly. I put the natural fortification because it related to the Bronze Age. I don't even remember what the Bronze Age was, but I was thinking bronze and weapons and fortification. So that's what brought me to that particular answer. All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay, so I was in between two for this one. So I wrote down both of them, but it was A and B because I was like, okay, if the price goes up, that doesn't necessarily mean her t-shirts will be affected. But I know her like her gym classes, how much. Okay, so I guess this is my question for this, I guess. Okay. So is this saying that she pays for gym class or she is the person giving that out?
It looks like she pays for it, but it's not like a big on her, you know, must have, you know? So it looks like she's paying for it, but it's not as much. That's what I got from it.
Okay, so I was in between the two decreases because it didn't make sense to me that it would increase if prices go up because whatever the price went up to, the price they were already paying, in my mind, probably was feasible for them already. So
I went through the same thing too. I was like, we're definitely not increasing anything, right?
Right.
And then I also like, so your options were the same as mine. And I still was like, as you see, I put A, but I was also thinking B, and I was like, well, this area I definitely need to spend more time on. And so if you go to the link that's in our ETS guide, there's a whole lesson in Khan Academy on the law of demand, and it breaks down everything and it goes over why B is the best answer. So I strongly encourage you to use that as a resource. And I want to say I appreciate you sharing what your process of elimination. Sometimes it's just like, you know, spending a little more time on these modules because it was either A or B, but because I didn't have that background knowledge, I wasn't really sure and confident. All right, let's wrap this up. Let me see. Thank you all. You guys did a phenomenal job today. Thank you for sharing your decision-making process. And just a few tips before we go. Want you to, first off, read the questions and all the possible answers thoroughly. I also strongly also suggest skip the hard questions, come back to them if you can later. You don't want to spend too much time. You definitely want to be keeping track of your time. Use all of your energy towards focusing on your questions, answering your questions. Sometimes we can get caught up and like getting frustrated on how the questions are worded or the answers are worded. Just stay positive, optimistic answers. If you don't get it right, then move to the next one. Check and verify your answers. Sometimes you can put in the answer into the question and you can see, if it flows correctly. Check for grammar sometimes. You don't want past and present tense together in the same type of question and answer formats. And those are my major test taking tips for social studies. I just want to say thank you. It's been 1 hour, one fast, good prep hour for us. And if you have any questions and you still want to just kind of unpack some of these concepts and time periods, please don't hesitate to reach me. My contact information is here, and I'll just stay a little after in case anyone has any questions.